Diller-Odell Coach's Corner, a service of Sutton Repair, Heartland Bank, and Eichmann Electric.
Sutton Repair and Odell can work on all makes and models of cars, trucks, or vans. With over 45 years of experience, their ASE certified technicians can get your vehicle running in top condition. All engine work, including transmissions. They offer a 25-point inspection on all oil changes, computer diagnostics, and new tire sales. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Small town service, big time know-how. Sutton Repair in Odell.
Hey Griffin fans, when your team heads into battle, we understand the power of supporting your community and local athletes. That's why at Heartland Bank, our commitment goes beyond banking. We invest in the hearts of our communities. Hi, I'm Market President Matt Raber and invite you to discover the Heartland Bank difference. Because when you choose Heartland Bank, you invest in local dreams and hometown victories. Heartland Bank, a proud supporter of Diller-Odell Athletics. Go Griffins. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When it comes to electrical work, trust the experts at Eichmann Electric. This is Marcus Eichmann, and we offer a full range of services, installation, maintenance, and repair for residential, commercial, and agricultural properties. Licensed in Nebraska and Kansas, we're dedicated to delivering the best solutions for your needs. From wiring your new home to keeping your business powered, Eichmann Electric is here to keep the lights on and the power flowing. Call me today at 402-587-1071 or visit our website at EichmannElectricLLC.com. That's Eichmann Electric, your hometown electrician.
Welcome into the Diller-Odell Coach's Corner program, joined today by head football coach Chris Sluter. Coach, tough loss last Friday night, 60-14 versus Red Cloud. I think we talked last week. They're going to be obviously a perennial power in the state of Nebraska in that six-man level. What did you learn or see from your team there Friday night?
We came out and we played pretty tough. It was 18-8 at the end of the first quarter. We got a couple big turnovers on them. We realized that, running the football against them was going to be a tall order, but, we did our due diligence and we tried to get the run going. When we got a couple good runs here or there, it just seemed like we could get some 4 and 5 yard runs, but we could never break the one tackle we needed to turn it into a really big play. One thing that I thought we were much better at this week is when the play broke down in some passing situations, guys got into some good spots. The quarterback was much more comfortable moving around in the pocket. Pass protection is really, really difficult in six-man, but we did a much better job of kind of making some unscheduled plays and even scoring a couple touchdowns on a couple broken plays, which is really important in a six-man game.
Obviously, you don't want to chalk 1 week up to just, get over it, go on from the next one. But especially against this team in the last 2 weeks, how important was it just to kind of tell the boys, hey, good teams, you're going to be good too as well. Let's settle in and get ready for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that's exactly what I told them at the end of the game. I said it didn't turn out the way that we wanted it to. We knew they were going to be tough, right? And you come into those games, knowing that you're going to have to put the perfect game together to win those games. And, obviously the scoreboard showed we didn't put the perfect game together. And when you do that against teams like that, those plays that, you might tackle somebody for 5 yard gains turn into big ones, And they just made some great plays. And that's kind of what I led with them. Like, guys, we played some good defense. We played some good offense. We just, they have good players, and their good players make plays. It's like us. We have good players. We made some good plays. But the thing that I just kind of tried to drive home was, the only difference, and I guess it's a big difference, but the only difference in this year over last year is we're sitting at 1-2 instead of 2-1. Yes, that one game is big, but we got a bye week to get better at what we need to get better at. And we have 5 winnable games on our schedule in the regular season. There's nobody on the list that we can't beat. So that's what we're just trying to drive home and try to keep the spirits up that way. This week will be a little interesting with how we handle the bye week and if we get better leading into a big game, a big big district game against Lewiston in a week.
And talk about that too. I mean, you're getting really good at doing my job for me, but going into a bye week, how do you keep everyone, I don't want to say focused, I don't think it's the right word, but oriented on what the goal is, even though you don't have a game Friday night?
One of the best things that we got going this week is we have a JV game over at Pawnee City tonight. And we are shooting up basically everybody except for 2 seniors and a couple of our juniors that have played a lot of football. We're shooting up, 14 guys to take over there. You don't know how much everybody will play, but we have a lot of youth on our football team. We have a couple guys that start on our varsity team that are sophomores and freshmen, so getting them some extra experience is going to be huge. And not only huge for what we're going to build for the rest of our season, but build for our future. We have 14 guys, and there's a couple juniors that will take over with us, but the rest of them are all freshmen and sophomores. So I'm really excited to see them get to play together in our system. And like I said, not only for this week, that's what we talked about, going 1-0 this week. So that's huge for those guys. Starting off with a big win, on the JV side of things, kind of leading us into this week, and having some good practices on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, and if we can look good through the middle of the week, give them that nice long weekend, kind of like we did last year. I think the bye week, you want to grind, especially at 1 and 2, you want to grind and get better. We also want to try to find ways to make this week fun, in a sense, right, before we get down and we get to work. Whether that's we do a little punt game where you have zones you try to punt it into, and they run down and cover the punt, and some dummy relays where we get some big, heavy dummies and we carry them in different ways. Some football relays where we, pitch it or pass it or scoop and score. So just using some things like that to keep it focused, keep it efficient, get better, but also enjoy the week being with the team and getting better.
And I don't want you to go too terribly depth in that because you just said it. But as a coach, in your experience, when you talk about that bye week, you talk about having fun. Obviously, everyone looks at the end results on Friday night. But how, though, important is that? Just to kind of keep everyone loose, keep everyone engaged, keep everyone, kind of cheerful, joyful in this bye week.
Yeah, there's one thing that I've known. I've played a lot of football in my years through high school and college and youth, right? So it's a common thing. Like, football practice is not always fun. We don't get to hang out in the gym with it climate controlled. It's hot. It's cold. We're beating each other up. So taking those times, whether it be in the regular season or this bye week, and just doing some things that keep it a little lighthearted, building those relationships with the kids, having conversations with them, goofing around a little bit, but to the point where you're not getting off the serious track. You're not getting off of the task at hand. But it's big, because if you don't keep the kids engaged, you're not going to learn anything anyway, right? So that's kind of the task at hand, whether you're a teacher or a coach, making things enjoyable to learn, making things as fun as possible, even though we know football practice isn't always fun. So that's just kind of this week, right? Get down to business, and, we'll be able to mix in some of the stuff that's a little bit more enjoyable.
Well, I think at the end of the day, it's an opportunity for your team to get one step better as you look forward to Lewiston and the rest of the season moving forward. I hope you guys have a little bit of fun, but also have this opportunity to get a little bit better. Again, talking with head coach for the Diller-Odell Griffins, Chris Sluter. As always, I appreciate it, Coach. We'll talk with you next week as you prepare for Lewiston.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you very much.
Diller-Odell Coach's Corner, a service of Sutton Repair, Heartland Bank, and Eichmann Electric.